Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, there's the occasional snide remarks I get on the channel, which is always acceptable, that says something to the effect of, "You're talking about privacy, why are you on YouTube?" And I wanted to address that. And it's very important to know that when we're talking about privacy, what are we talking about? What is the extent that I would use a Google service? What is the extent I won't? Of course, I'll use the nebulous term Google service because we're talking about YouTube versus, we could be talking about Facebook, we could be talking about Instagram, we could be talking about Microsoft products, any types of things. So the ultimate bottom line is, why am I on YouTube if I care so much for privacy? Why not just dump it all together, not post here, just do what I'm going to do other places instead? And there is a lot to be said, but the first thing I want to bring up, number one, is let's understand the difference between business and personal, okay? Business and personal. This is important because while I am not an advocate of using Google services for anything in one's personal life, I have no problem utilizing Google services for business if it is the best option to use in that service. So, for example, if I wanted to drive traffic to a website, running Google Ads is a very effective way to do that. The times that I've run Google Ads, you see a radical increase in web content hits. No question about it. Google Ads work. All right. Now, in that being said, I would never attach all of my personal phone and all my personal photos and all my personal emails onto a Gmail account and allow Google's free services to take control of, monitor, and watch and examine my life. Even with Google services, I use other alternatives first. I do not have a Gmail account in any way, shape, or form. And no, you do not have a Gmail account automatically because you have YouTube. You can create a Google account without a Gmail account. I have a few of them with different business concerns. All right, so the first thing we have to understand is there is an isolation between business and personal things. This is why you watch guys like TechLore, where he only uses Linux in his personal life, but he will use a Windows system for doing some of the business aspects because it's the most efficient thing for him to do. Now, of course, that Windows system is now virtualized inside of a Linux box, which is okay. He's taken that extra step, which is awesome. But we have to first understand that we're talking about isolating business and personal, because really, sure, you might have just a personal for fun YouTube channel, but in reality, I use YouTube channels as part of a business strategy. And we'll get into that a little bit more is my third point. But the second point is audience. If I want to get out a message, I want to be where people are. And what I wanted to actually highlight is this. So Black Pigeon Speaks released a video, I think it was yesterday, and he is one of the top guys on BitChute. All right, so I think he's up there. I think Stexenhammer's up there, and there's a few other guys. I can't remember what the exact order is, and I couldn't find a specific list. But Black Pigeon Speaks released this one about MSM, Russiagate hoax ends in a deafening silence, which is an excellent video, by the way. He is one of the number one. He's definitely in the top, I think either top 5 or top 3 BitChute users. This video got 3,212 videos on BitChute. You go find the exact same thing on YouTube, 94,000 views. So if I wanted to get out my information, if I want to talk about privacy, if I want to talk about concerns, then we want to put these out in the various places where you're going to find the audience. And for my own take, really, this is the biggest problem with BitChute, is it kind of sucks as far as our search. Okay. All right, so we'll go to my channel, which I do have a BitChute channel, so if you're super concerned. So here is my video on paranoid. So if I wanted to talk about, teaching people about being paranoid, or whatever, then what I might end up doing is I might want to come down and look at my audience. So I had 81 views on this video on BitChute. Same video on YouTube got 2.6 thousand. Okay, so if I'm going to get out a message, I want to get the message out in the place where most people are going to see it. Particularly if we're talking about waking people up to the concepts of privacy. Where are people at? YouTube, Google services, all these types of things. And so that is why I'm on YouTube. So first, of course, we're isolating business and personal. I don't have anything personal on YouTube. They don't, I have specific business computers that are isolated on some YouTube accounts. That is about it. Okay. As far as audience, I'm going to go where the people are. So this account on YouTube gets a lot more of a following. Of course, I have, 34,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and on BitChute, I have 366. So it doesn't make a lot of sense if I want to get a message out to just dump YouTube altogether and go out and talk about, going on to BitChute or some of the other ones. And BitChute's the number 2. There's a few other options as well, and they're not even as good as this. But there is a third and ultimate way, and you can get your pitchforks ready. I'll give you a second to light your torches, all right? The third reason is money, okay? I am not hiding the fact that Switch to Linux is, for me, a business concern. I saw a few years back, I saw the writing on the wall that my regular day job of web design is not going to be around in the long term, and I had to switch gears. Now, there's other directions I'm bridging to. I'm not saying, well, YouTube is my job. It's too fickle, and they're too crazy for that. Especially since I'm white, I'm conservative, and I'm a male. And I'm a Christian. I'm a white conservative male Christian. I may as well grow horns and be called the devil, okay? Because that's what certain political parties would see me as. So I'm not placing all of my eggs in this basket. But money is the next reason. Here is the reason for this. You do not have to pay. Now, if you're a supporter, you can support me on Patreon or on Think Life Media. Those are 2 ways you can help support the channel. But if you can't support the channel, or you're a younger person, or you're still in debt, I'd prefer you not support the channel directly. You can still watch the videos on YouTube, go through the ads, and that actually helps support the channel. So what does that do? Well, the money that I make on YouTube means I can spend more time here building tutorials, helping you learn structures, teaching you to switch to Linux, teaching you about privacy. I can do that because I make an income enough that I can do less work in my regular day job. Because of that, I would be a fool to jump off of YouTube because of the ad revenue. All right, now what else does that do? Well, the ad revenue for Switch to Linux actually goes into supporting and creating my publishing company right now, which the publishing company is not just geared towards Christian writing. That is where the majority of my books are now, but I'm actually working on some non-Christian works as well for people that are interested in that stuff. And so with that, the being on YouTube and using that as a primary means to get the messages out means I generate an amount of income that allows me to get this secondary career off the run. So what is the long-term strategy? It's in authoring and publishing and in teaching. So Switch to Linux is not going away. That's never been a plan. I like doing what I'm doing here. But my ultimate goal is to help people in writing and publishing and distributing books through more tutorials geared and focused on that, which I have to have the income coming in from this in order to take time off of the regular day job to do that. So why am I still on YouTube despite being a privacy paranoid nut? Well, very simply, number one, I isolate out my personal business life. I would not recommend anybody put your personal life on these free services. A free service means you are the product. So number two, it's the audience. It is a wider branch audience. And number three, it is because this allows me the time to move into the goals that I have for down the road, because I'm thinking 1 year out, in 3 years out, in 5 years out, in 10 years out. And in 10 years time, what I do right now for an income is probably not going to be an option. So those are my reasons why I am sticking on the YouTube platform, even though I am a paranoid privacy nut. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.